broken wagon. I have to head up a hill here. I should keep going south from here. Back to the rocks. Going the wrong way.
Alright. Hopefully it doesn't freeze this time. I had to skip those scenes. This is where it froze last time. Okay, there we go. I loaded this time.
Is it much further?
We'll reach Sukdal shortly, if those woodcutters by the forest weren't making it up. They looked pretty frightened.
Maybe they were just in awe of your beauty.
My, you've got a silver tongue, eh?
Not that I want to contradict, but I think there might be another reason. Sigismund is riding roughshod over the country, so the people are cautious. I can't blame them.
If it was only Sigismund. The devil is just as bad.
I thought we'd sorted all this out. He's no saint, not by any means. But he is an ally of the king. My friend. Who is?
The dry devil.
Lord Hinek of Kunstadt, Burgrave of Znojmo Castle, a great warrior, and at this moment a guest of the Lord of Sukdal.
He's a drunkard, and a dangerous, violent man.
I'll watch him, don't you worry.
Why do they call him the Dry Devil, anyway?
You can ask him yourself when you see him.
I don't know why he's dry, but I know exactly why they call him Devil.
Can you give it a rest? I don't need you insulting him before I get a word in.
Great. So I'm to keep my mouth shut, eh?
Say what you like, just don't go bugging the devil. at least for a while. That's all I'm asking.
What is this Sukdol place we're heading to?
The fortress of Lord Pisek, Mint Master to King Wenceslas himself.
My word! And will a man of his stature see us?
We'll find out soon enough. But I hope Dry Devil vouches for us.
And what's your plan after that? We have to save Sir Hans.
Don't worry, we'll get to that. If it's not too late.
Hopefully it won't be.
Zach ain't gonna see ya.
He's a noble.
He's got an important
We'll
visit.
ransom him.
I don't know. His uncle has a reputation for being a pinch purse. You know him, Henry?
Yeah. Well, I don't know where you heard that from. He was always kind to me.
Oh, but that's all by the by anyway. I intend to wage war, not parley. And if I know Dry Devil, he's of the same mind.
Won't it be dangerous for Sir Hans?
It will, and for us too. But I'm sure Lord Capon is expecting that. He rode to Trotsky as a messenger to von Berghoff. I reckon he must have had some idea what might happen.
Long last.
What's this? The gate's wide open.
Watered, fed, saddled, first thing. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Greetings. What's your business here?
The blessing of our Lord Jesus Christ, sir. I expect you're Peter Pisek. I am Jan Žižka of Trocnov. I have an important message for your guest, Hinek of Kunstadt. Actually, for you two.
A message for the Dry Devil.
Well now, Captain Žižka and young Henry.
Margrave Jobs.
Sir.
I'm afraid your friend Hinek is no longer here. I'd love to know what brought you two together. But also, what the hell happened to you?
Well, sir...
Unfortunately, I'm otherwise occupied at the moment. Get some rest. You're clearly in dire need of it. We'll talk tomorrow. Sir Peter, please, take care of our guests.
Yes, sir.
Let's go!
He's all we needed.
You must be tired and hungry after your journey. Follow me.
You have a very fine fortress, my lord.
I'm glad you think so.
You don't?
To be honest, I'd much prefer to go back to Kuttenberg. Life in a fortress isn't ideal for a man, with my experience.
And with your fortune.
That gets worryingly smaller every day, Lord
You
Trostall.
silly doggy.
Hardly surprising if you're putting up the Margrave here.
No, that's more down to his Hungarian.
Perfectly, my lord.
My apologies, but we've already eaten, and I wasn't expecting more guests. I wouldn't want to give the impression that I'm feeding you with leftovers.
Not to worry, Sir Peter. The leftovers from the Margrave's table is still a banquet for us. For me, at least. But I'm just a village girl.
I wouldn't have thought it, good wife.
Oh, you would, sir. But don't concern yourself. I don't mind it.
The last few weeks we've been sharing dry bread and stewed peas with a horde of dirty warriors. I seriously doubt that the fare you offer could offend us.
I understand. Undoubtedly, you've been through a lot.
And we've a lot more to face.
Eat whatever takes your fancy, my friends. You look like you've had a hard journey.
The journey wasn't so bad, especially compared to what came before it.
Where are you coming from, anyway?
From Trusky.
That's Sir Otto von Burgo's domain. What were you doing there, pray tell?
We were in a castle cellar, talking to an old acquaintance.
My God, how did that happen?
Simple. I'm in the service of Lord Sokol of Lamberg, same as Dry Devil. And I had a job to do around Trusky, if you get my meaning.
Absolutely. But it wasn't much of a success, was it?
Actually, it was pretty much. We even took a castle.
Well, more like a small stronghold.
And we nearly got von Berghoff, too.
And what prevented you from completing that righteous deed?
Actually, it's a little bit my fault.
What are you saying, boy?
Me and my lords were sent to negotiate an alliance with von Berghoff. But that snake was using us the whole time to do his dirty work. He pretended he was willing to cross over to the side of Wenceslas. But instead, he sent us to fight against the king's allies.
And if that wasn't enough, von Orlitz and the Prague militia joined with him.
But why would the Pragas send forces to Trusky?
But they didn't, sir. They weren't sent to Trusky, but here. They just stopped off to visit von Berghoff because he was in a tight situation, and they took him along with them.
Here? To my fortress? Christ almighty.
Not just here, but everywhere where King Wenceslas still has supporters.
And that's also one of the reasons why we're here. We came to warn you. It seems Sigismund's run out of patience. He's going to break the truce and finish off the rebellion while he still has time. So he's convened all his followers in Kuttenberg with von Berghoff and von Orlitz in the lead. It's just a matter of time before the battles begin.
We've got to secure the fortress quickly, stock up on supplies, reinforce the guard and drill the troops. But I'm grateful to you, friends. Wait here. I'll have the best wine I have brought to you. Bring that red from Burgundy right away.
You might want to save some for Jobst.
I'll gladly risk his displeasure for this occasion.
It seems we both have the same opinion of Jobst, eh?
Well, that is, I wouldn't dream of disrespecting the Margrave. Where do you know him from?
I don't really know him as such. We merely know each other due to my original trade.
Yes, I've heard of you. They say you used to be Well,
Yes, a bandit. It's no secret, sir. King Wenceslas even put a price on my head once. And Catherine here, if she...
I'm sure that's of no interest to the noble gentleman. And anyway, if anyone knows Jobst well, it's Henry here. You two are quite on friendly terms, aren't you?
Well, we only met once, in fact. When he came to see Lord Hanush in Rattay.
Anyway, we're straying a little from the point. As I said, one of the reasons we came here is to warn you. And the other reason goes by the name of Hinnek, the Dry Devil. Where is he?
well, he was here for a while, at my invitation.
Was? So he's no longer here? Thank Christ.
Where did he go?
I couldn't say. He didn't part quite on the best of terms.
That's quite normal for him. Don't take it to heart, sir.
I had no issue with him. It's more about Margrave Jobst. When he met Hinnek, he was somewhat disturbed.
Disturbed? Why?
Well, let's say, after an exchange of opinions, they agreed it would be best if they saw as little of each other as possible. I'm sure if you're interested in the details, the Margrave will explain it to you himself.
I'd be very surprised.
Why is Jobst taking such risks? He almost put himself in Sigismund's reach. What for?
To do what he's been doing all his life. Scheming.
One could put it that way. He's seeking allies amongst the undecided lords, and winning over to our side some of the ones who've sided with Sigismund so far.
He wants to make deals with turncoats?
Alas, that's the way it goes in politics. The majority lean towards the side where they expect the least problems. Just between us, I'm not too pleased myself about Jobst's strategy, and I'm the last one who'd wish for violence.
What do you think about all of this, sir? Sigismund, Wenceslas, Jobst?
What kind of question is that? Do you doubt my loyalty to our king?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Henry here sometimes forgets to weigh his words, sir.
That's all right. To be frank, we all know that King Wenceslas isn't the great man his father Charles was. But that is the way of the world. History is full of kings who didn't know how to wear the crown. The blood running in their veins is more important than what's in their heads. He's not a capable ruler. What of it? In my opinion, kingship is above all a guarantee of divine peace. A sovereign's greatest asset is his legitimacy.
But what if the sovereign is truly bad? If he's mad, say?
I'll put it this way. Nobody lives forever, lad.
Least of all bad kings. Isn't that right, sir?
What was Dry Devil doing here, anyway?
Waging war, if you can call it that. He ambushed 3 of Sigismund's supply caravans and a troop of Cumans in these parts alone. It made me a little nervous. If anyone found out he was hiding out here, in the end, it was Jobst himself who sorted it out. He told Hinnek he had to stop because he was interfering with his plans.
So, what about us? What do we do now?
The Margrave will certainly want to talk to you, but the earliest he'll be back at the fortress will be tomorrow. I hope until then, you won't refuse my offer of a bed for the night.
Just an offer. So you'd let us leave if we wanted to?
Well, the Margrave did ask me to look after you until he returns, for the sake of security.
Whose security?
Good question. Yours, I expect.
So be it. I couldn't take another step anyway.
Sir, there's still one more thing we came for. Lord von Bergov is holding my lord, Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, hostage. And we also have to warn Jobst's ally, John of Liechtenstein. Do you know anything about those two?
Sorry, I don't. I didn't even know von Bergau had come here until you told me. and I've heard nothing about Lord Liechtenstein.
Which is actually good news. If he'd been caught and executed, the word would be all over the region. So there's a strong hope he's alive.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Lord Pisek.
It's the least I could do, lad. My fortress is open to all the king's supporters, even if that does make it a bit crammed.
I suppose I ought to get to bed. Where can I sleep, sir?
I had some chambers prepared for all of you. Yours is right here in the palace. Cross that corridor and go up the stairs. You can't miss it. There's a garland above the door. But first, eat your fill. All of you. And maybe you'd like to bathe before going to bed. I told my servant Susanna to prepare baths for you. The baths are in the little house in the courtyard, right next to the well.
What do you think of Lord Pisek?
He's a real man, at least. Noble and good-mannered, but I hope his age has weakened his hearing. You should be ashamed of yourself asking about him when he's right next to us.
What happened at Nebakov after the Praguers took the fortress?
You're asking me?
No, of course. I know you weren't there, but maybe you heard something. You know what goes on, right? I only remember that diabolical shot. Nothing after that.
That must have been really terrible. I heard the shot all the way from Troskowitz. I'm afraid all I know is when they took the fortress, von Aulitz's men hanged everyone they found there. I'm sorry, but most of ours got left behind there.
Oh man, what happened to Clara?
There was this healer called Clara there.
A girl of yours?
Maybe. She was really kind to me. Oh, my God.
Wait. Maybe she managed to save herself? Nobody would hang a young girl like that, would they? Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Don't apologize. It's not your fault.
You have to live every day like it's going to be your last. That's all you can do in our trade.
Do you know if Michael, the adjutant, survived?
I'm afraid I do know. Zhishka said the shot killed him on the spot.
Did you know him?
Aye. He was a good man. He saved my life once.
I didn't know that. Do you want to talk about it?
Not now, thanks. Some other time, maybe.
Do you know Kozlik? Clever little fella. Surely he managed to get out alive.
I know him very well, and I reckon you're right. If anyone managed to escape from Nabokov, it was him. At least I hope so.
Do you think Mikesh survived?
What, him? What do you care about a ne'er-do-well like him?
No, whatever he's like. I had some adventures with him.
So did I. And he's the last person I'd shed tears for.
Thank you. That's all.
I'm sorry I can't tell you more.
No, that's all right. Thanks. What do you plan to do now?
What do you think? Have a proper meal and then go and lie down?
May I join you?
At least we'd only take up one of Lord Pisek's beds instead of two. But I'd like to get some rest. And I advise you to do the same. We have lots of work ahead of us.
How are you?
Much better with hot food in my belly. But a pitcher of wine would be the best remedy.
Don't overdo it, though. Better to lose one eye than drink yourself blind. Any orders, Captain?
Now, eat and sleep. I'm not sure how long they'll treat us this well, so make the most of it.
I mean no discourtesy, but I've never heard of you, sir.
Fret not, I take no offense. I can tell you come from far away. Everyone here in the region knows me. I used to be the Mint Master, the king's official who oversees the Italian court, where the Prague Russian is minted out of Kuttenberg silver.
That sounds important.
Indeed it is. And that is why Sigismund stripped me of my office as soon as he took control of Kuttenberg.
I know we're in Sukdal, and that this fortress belongs to you. I don't know anything else about it. Or about this area.
It's not exactly a royal castle. As you can see, you'll find dozens of such fortresses around Kuttenberg. As the town grew richer, many burghers wanted to climb the social ladder to join the nobility. They bought land and built fortresses. Kuttenberg is surrounded by plains, so they've been springing up like mushrooms after the rain.
Oh my god, I haven't seen Mutt in years. I forgot about you. Oh my god. You must be starving.
Good boy. Good boy.
My,
Here you go. Take
no
it.
food for you, bro.
You have a kind master, eh, doggy? What brings you here?
I'll have a look at you.
Thank you. And take...
Whoa. Why is all my good shit unequipped? What's going on? What? What do I have 2 torches for? Wait, what? Wait. Weird. They put a lot of stuff on me that servitude. What? Don't need a new getup. What's going on? Oh, is that what I had on when I was in the castle? Skulking around? least I have all my, wait a minute. My sneaking around clothes. Alright, so.
Yeah? How can I help you, sir?
Lord Pisek said we could have a bath here?
Yes, sir. I prepared the hot water and fragrant oils myself. And I'll wash your clothes as well.
I could get used to this.
If sir will allow, I'll help you undress.
Now that's what I call service. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back.
What brings you here?
I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Grüß Gott. Was braucht...
How's it going, Captain? Do you have any work for me?
Sehr interessant. I thought you were helping Siska.
What of it? So is there anything you need a hand with, Frenzel?
Zum Glück nicht. Nothing urgent. If you're looking for ein Fuschen, try your luck elsewhere.
I heard Kuttenberg surrendered to Sigismund, and his army is running amok here in the area.
They are. These dreckigen Hurensöhne are angry, you see? They thought they would rake in the silver from the Kuttenberg mines. But they couldn't have been more wrong. Sigismund kept all the treasure for himself. Why should he pay them out of his own pocket when the local lords are feeding them?
What? Well, I don't understand.
Dann pass mal auf. As soon as the soldiers began looting the villages around the city, the local nobility quickly decided it's better to pay them Lösegeld.
So that Hungarian bastard is getting rich, while the locals feed his army.
Das trifft den Nagel auf den Kopf. And yet, that carrot-top Schweinehund lets the monks in the Zealots monastery fuss over him while he receives legations from the whole kingdom.
Do you know by chance how to get into that monastery where Sigismund is staying?
Wie bitte? Hast du den Verstand verloren? You can forget about that. You won't get in there. And listen closely to what I tell you. I don't know what you're planning, but I'll give you some good advice. Leave Sigismund alone. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but surely. You'll see. You'd better be glad you still have your head.
Did Sigismund also attack Suchdol?
Oh yes, as soon as he got here. But my men know what to do. Mit der Hilfe Gottes, we fended him off and forced him to negotiate. Mein Herr Peter, however, had to pay him a fat Lösegeld to leave us in peace. The villagers in the vicinity fared even worse.
What happened?
They raised Messerles and a pot of it. There was nothing left but ashes and stones. They haven't been here since then, but who knows what tomorrow may bring. Der Teufel soll Sigismund holen.
I need to top up my supplies. Where could I find some merchants here?
You'd be better off asking the innkeeper Slivka in the village about these things. And that's no surprise,
How do things work around here?
Not really, except for the Sigismund military camp. Diese Banditenbanden have settled in. So...
Wiedersehen und einen guten Abend für dich.
More nightmares.
So you got your revenge? Father, did it make you feel any better? It did. So what comes next?
Mark von Aulitz is next. Then von Burkov.
Eric.
And is that what you really want, son? No matter how many people you kill, you can't change what's happened.
It's what I want.
Are you sure, Henry?
What's happening? Why are you waking me up? You again?
Yes, the Margrave is calling for you, sir. You and the other gent.
You mean Zizka?
I suppose. I don't know what his name is, but he's waiting down in the courtyard. I'm just on my way to tend to his wounds.
And what about Catherine?
That's the good wife who arrived with you? I don't know. I think I saw her with our captain.
Oh, very well. I'll go now.
Before you go, I brought you something for breakfast. In case you're hungry. Oh, have I been too bold?
No, definitely not. Thank you. Do you need anything else?
No, sir.
So, why are you standing here?
You haven't dismissed me, sir.
I'm not a nobleman. You don't have to stand on ceremony with me.
I do, since you're a guest of the Margrave, sir. May I leave?
Aye. That is... yes, of course.
Thank you, sir.
Greetings. What would you like?
How are you, dear good wife?
All the better for being greeted so respectfully. But I hope my husband didn't hear you. He's terribly jealous, and he could have you whipped. He's the captain here, you know.
You wouldn't happen to know where Lord Hinnek of Kunstad went, would you? He was a guest here.
I don't know, but I hope as far away as possible. That animal almost raised his hand to the Margrave.
What? How did that happen?
A respectable woman doesn't talk about that kind of thing. But if it hadn't been for my husband, he'd have been at his throat, believe you me.
I beg your pardon, milady, but could you tell me what's new around here? I'm asking because I've just arrived, and I'd like to know more about this region.
If it's mercenary work you're interested in, I can't help you. You'll have to ask elsewhere.
God be with you.
Now, that's what I call an opener.
My man trained like that every...
Lo, the Worth Henry of Skalitz. I'm just holding a discussion with the captain here about his desolate fortress.
That's not how I'd put it. In the end, as my Großvater said, the strength of a castle is measured by its garrison. And mine is one of the best in the region. What do you say, lad? Am I right?
Well, your grandfather was right. A castle with a weak garrison is no good for anything. But your men... I'd say the girls from our village would do a better job of defending the place.
What did you say, you bastard? Why don't you show us how it's done, then? Now that we have Großer Meister among us, we should make use of him, shouldn't we?
Sure. If it'd make you happy.
Show us what you're made of, my knight.
Come, Junge. We'll stuff your clothes with straw, so you don't come to any harm, and let you have a go against one of ours. Pulcock, come here! The first to bleed loses.
Nonsense. I don't know how many times I mashed the attack button, but he didn't even swing. Sometimes this fucking game, man. Press buttons and nothing comes out of it.
Christ, pardon me.
Greetings.
Hello?
Oh,
You wouldn't have... What? I beg you, I'm out.
if it... You're...
God be with you.
Careful.
Christ, pardon me.
Come on! My man trained like that every day.
Lo, I'm...
That's not in the... What?
Oh, you're...
What did... Why don't...
Sure.
Come, Pulka first.
Mercy! Leave me be!
Did I not parry that? Why did I get hit? I mean, I still won, but sometimes, man, this fucking game. It's fucking weird-ass mechanics. What happens now?
Greetings. And with you?
Excellent, Henry.
It was nothing.
Gut gemacht. You have my admiration. You really are good with the sword. I hope my idiots learned a thing or two from you.
You should receive some kind of reward for that feat.
And what rewards would you have in mind?
I was rearranging our saddlebags, and I remembered I took a small memento from Trotsky.
Oh. What is it?
A hunting crossbow. I even think it's von Berghoff's. I was meaning to sell it, but it might serve you better.
My word. Thank you. I better go and find Zizka. The Margrave is expecting us.
I saw Zizka next to the stables. There was some girl hanging around him.
Do you want to come with us to see Yobs?
Not really. I'll go and pack my things instead. I have a feeling we'll have to leave soon.
Why?
A woman's intuition.
How's it? What?
Was soll ich about? You ought to see.
White roebuck?
Yeah, and Dobrosh takes it as a personal of.
What exactly do you mean?
Just ask him if there's anything new happening. Oh, yeah. Und das war alles.
All right. I'd like to...
What are you?
I have a...
Schön.
How do I get to Kuttenberg from...
Das ist nicht schwer. You just take the main, or you can also follow your nose. The smell is hell.
Where did you say, Sigurd?
Unfortunately, they've occupied the hill. When you walk out of the...
I'd like to...
What do you...
Welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
What goes on in the forest, Huntsman?
There are poachers prowling in the woods. A band led by this ginger-headed Mach of Marshowitz. They've been causing trouble for quite some time, but now they've really overdone it.
What happened?
They killed a rare white roebuck that lived in our woods. Killed and skinned it. Sir Peter of Pisek put a bounty on their heads. The bounty's yours if you help me track them down.
I must say, I've never seen a white roebuck before.
It's an exceedingly rare animal. It was beautiful. Its hide was white as snow. Sir Peter forbade hunting it, but I wouldn't have even if I could. Killing an animal like that is bad luck.
Do you know any more about these poachers?
They're led by some fella called Mach of Marshowitz, and they fancy themselves some kind of a brotherhood. From what I've heard, they showed up in the village below the castle a couple of times trying to sell venison. The guards always sent them packing. Our knacker, Wolfram, was the only one who talked to them.
That knacker, Wolfram. Do you think he had anything to do with the dead roebuck and the poach?
Oh, he has a dishonorable profession, true enough. And he sells hides and meat wherever he can, but having the gall to work with poachers... I don't think so. He's on thin enough ice as it is, being a knacker and all. If his lordship found out he had anything to do with it, he'd have him hanged. But he might know something about that band.
All right, Huntsman. I'll try to track the poachers down. Maybe they haven't sold the hide yet, and I'll be able to find it.
Excellent. And if you mete out capital punishment on the spot, every member of that band carries a squirrel tail on them. Probably.
Where should I look for these poachers?
That's the hard part. I'm sure they have a hideout in the woods around here. If you don't know what to do, you can try to get something out of the
Thanks for the advice.
Farewell.
Excuse me.
God be with you.
How was your trip?
The journey itself was great. No delays, nice weather. But I've got to say, it's a scary place.
No chance.
Who was it?
I don't know. But it wasn't some rebel.
Right, where's the royal captains when you need them?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the royal captains, settling scores with the local lords.
Christ, that's bloody awful.
Aye. It's a strange war.
A strange and fucked up.
Good day, sir.
Well, blacksmith.
Worse and worse, friend. Since Sigismund came this way, I've had so much work I hardly sleep. You know, everyone suddenly realized that the blunt, rusty weapons they have at home aren't worth shit.
Would you repair?
Great! Happy to be of service. Take care, sir.
I need...
Excellent. It was a pleasure. Doing business with you, sir.
Show me your...
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Greetings to you.
So, what's life like here?
What can I say, lad? It used to be better. There was peace and quiet while King Charles was alive. But those sons of his aren't up to much. Warring against each other. They should be ashamed. We're lucky we have Sir Peter. He won't allow us to come to any harm.
What's Sir Peter like?
Oh, he has a heart of gold. God smiled on us when he sent us Sir Peter. But he has a terrible sweet tooth. He eats nothing but preserves and sweet dumplings with curd cheese. And when he does feel like some meat, he demands nothing but chaffinch.
You wouldn't happen to know where Lord Hinnock of Kunstad went, would you? He was a guest here only recently.
You mean that bony knight? I can't help you, I'm afraid. I don't stick my nose into the Lord's affairs. That wouldn't be right.
I'm a bit hungry. Do you have anything to eat?
That's not possible. I had you sent breakfast in bed. Susanna was supposed to take it to you. God bless you, sir. What do you need, sir?
And this scar? It's strange, crooked, like a letter from a fancy book.
This. I fell off the battlements at Laxenburg Castle.
Lord above! From the walls! And were you conquering or defending that castle, sir?
Well, depends on how you look at it. We were storming a wine cellar, you see.
Ah, I do see. Only maybe you shouldn't go around telling people that, sir. It doesn't sound too heroic.
So what? Heroes like to have a drink too, now and again. I've got loads of scars from real battles anyway. Like here, on my other arm. A groom hit me with a crossbow nearby Yitchin. The boy was nearly 15. Poor fella.
That's how I lost my sweetheart.
Someone shot him?
No, he shot someone else.
Ah, I see.
And what about your eyebrow, sir? It seems a bit crooked. Do you have a scar there too?
Aye. I nearly lost my eye.
Also in battle?
No, I was a lad. I made a bet with some friends that I could run all the way down the Devil's Slope without stopping once. That's what we called this one really steep hill. Once you started down it, you either had to run all the way to the bottom, or tumble all the way there.
And you went tumbling?
I did nothing of the sort. I ran down. But as I was celebrating, prancing about like a deer, I tripped on a root. I landed on my head and cracked it open on a stump. An inch or two off, and I'd have lost that eye.
How are things, Captain?
What do you think? I've seen better days. And you, youngster?
Me? Well, considering what we've been through, surprisingly good.
Just wait until you've been through as much as I have.
I doubt I'll ever live long enough to be as battered as you.
Ha! Looking at you, I've no fear of that. Besides, how do you know how old I am?
I don't know. From how you look?
You might be surprised. War leaves its mark on a man. But enough chat. I see Jobst has returned to the fortress.
That's why I'm here. They're expecting us. I wanted to take Catherine along too, but she said she'd rather get the horses ready.
She's doing the right thing, and you better run ahead and greet the Margrave. I'll join you shortly.
Are you expecting trouble?
I always expect trouble. Jobst has turned coats more times than I can count. And the way things are these days, I'd rather have horses standing by, even on a visit to my parents.
What about that dry devil of yours? Did you find out where he went?
No, nobody asked him where he was going, but it seems they're hoping it's as far away as possible. I'm not surprised. If I know him, he wasn't the ideal guest.
At least Jobst might know where he is.
He might. To be honest, that's the only reason for talking to him.
Should I really go and see Jobst on my own? He's a Margrave, though.
So what? You already know him better than I do. You met him in Ratai. I only know what I've heard about him.
All right, but he sent for us both. How's it gonna look?
A bit odd, I suppose. But you must understand, I'm doing this for our benefit. The less time I spend with a Margrave in one room, the better.
All right, then. I'll be going, then.
all hurts.
You have a kind master, hey, Shoggy?
Come on! And again, come on!
Henry. Where's Captain Zizka?
He got held up.
I received a report that von Bergov's banner is flying in the camp of my dear cousin Sigismund, so I assume the negotiations at Trotsky didn't go too smoothly.
No, sir. I don't have good news for you, I'm afraid.
Well, good or bad, I'm sure you have plenty to report. So what happened with von Bergov at Trotsky?
Bergov had no interest in our message. By the time we finally arrived at Trotsky, he'd already long since made a deal with Sigismund. But of course he didn't tell Sir Hans and me anything. And on top of that, he used us to do his dirty work. Everything went to hell in the end, and we ended up in a dungeon. Or at least I did. They took Lord Capon away. In fact, that's why we're here. We were following von Bergov's trail.
So I've heard. But I'd be interested to know the details. It's been some time since our meeting in Ratai, and now you appear here by the side of a quite unexpected guest.
An unexpected guest?
Yes, of course, I've heard of Zizka before, and of his unconventional ways of supporting our king. But I don't know where you know him from.
We met outside Trotsky, in rather complicated circumstances. We crossed swords. I can only thank God we didn't kill each other.
And who was giving Zizka orders? Do you know?
I think it's some Jan Sokol of Lamberg.
That would make sense. He was always quite pig-headed.
Forgive me, my lord, but how is it possible you don't know? Aren't you all on the same side?
Bear in mind that my dear cousin, His Majesty King Wenceslas, has many supporters, and each of them has their own ideas about how to defend him.
I understand. It seems complicated.
On the contrary, it's all quite simple. If I could get them all together in one banquet hall, give them their fill of wine and venison, they'd come to an agreement on the spot. Let's move on. I heard something about a pillory and poaching. What in God's name did you and Sir Hans get up to?
I'm back. Let's see.
Things went wrong right from the beginning. We were ambushed, and we lost the letter. Lord Capon and I were lucky to get out of it alive. But no one at Trotsky believed that we were messengers.
Von Berghoff refused to aid a nobleman in need. That seems pretty low for a man of his stature.
Well, to be honest, Lord Capon didn't really look much like a nobleman. We were ambushed while bathing in a pond, and then we fled through the woods. So we really looked like a pair of beggars.
Ah, that must have been a peculiar feeling for Lord Capon.
Not only for him, sir. I may be just a bastard, but that doesn't mean I'm used to begging at castle gates dressed in rags.
Believe me, I didn't intend in the least to make such an insinuation. In any case, are you sure there's nothing else you want to tell me?
Well, you should probably know that Istvan Toth was working for von Berghoff.
Who's he?
One of Sigismund's cronies. He was causing havoc around Ratai.
Ah, yes. Hanush and Radzig mentioned some such person. They even foolishly let him go.
They had to. They gave him their word.
Yes. Well, it's actually quite heartening that some people still have such naive ideas about the world.
Well, no one let him go this time. He's dead.
Very good. From what I've heard, he was a bandit and a cutthroat. There should be no dealings with his ilk.
Isn't Zhishka a bandit too, though?
Zhishka is loyal to Wenceslas. So he's no bandit or cutthroat, but a faithful servant of our king, carrying out resistance against his enemies. But let's move on. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
That's all that happened, sir.
Truly. My court messenger and bearer of tidings, both good and bad, John of Liechtenstein, has mysteriously gone silent. So every piece of information I get now is precious. By the way, you said you were in von Berghoff's dungeon. And I can imagine how they treated you there. Tell me, did you reveal anything?
Well, they asked questions, yes. But I was counting on that, and prepared myself for it.
How did you prepare yourself?
Well, I mainly told them things I was pretty sure von Berghoff already knew. Like that Radzig is a supporter of Wenceslas, that you and I met in Ratai.
And was he satisfied with that?
Well, I don't think he expected anything more from a simple servant of Lord Capon.
That's true. I must say, Henry, you've pleasantly surprised me. You can keep a cool head as the world around you burns. You'll make it far. Thank you for the news. You're free to go if you want. But I would be glad if you stayed at the fortress. As soon as it's possible, you can join a legation heading for Rattay. I'm sure you already want to go home.
Sir, that's a generous offer, and I appreciate it. But it's not what I want.
If you wish to stay and help here, I'll be glad, of course. I need someone to escort my envoys, and you've proven yourself more than capable.
It's Lord Capon, Your Grace. I came to find out where he is, and rescue him.
A noble thought. But you mustn't worry about Lord Capon. I'm sure von Berghoff has him trapped in a gilded cage.
But I made a promise, sir.
I understand, but honestly, Lord Capon is now safer than you or I. The most sensible course now is to wait for the ransom demand.
Margrave.
Ah, Captain Zhishka. Henry and I were just discussing Lord Capon.
Yeah, the Margrave thinks he's in no danger, and we should wait for a ransom demand.
As one does. I wanted to talk to you about something else. I suppose you're wondering why your friend Hinnick, also known as the Dried Devil, isn't here?
Oh, there's plenty of gossip going on around the fortress. You and Pisek refused to grant him asylum.
Asylum is for those in distress, Captain. Hinnick came to burn and pillage. I have quite different plans.
And what might those be, Margrave? Sitting and talking while King Wenceslas rots in a dungeon. What would I expect? Not so long ago, you were conspiring with Sigismund against Prokop, your own brother!
It would be futile trying to explain to you the intricacies of the Luxembourg's dynastic politics. Let me just explain that that was what was called for in the situation. But I assure you that I am now acting in the best interests of this country. And of King Wenceslas.
You're acting first and foremost in your own interests. Everyone knows that.
Strong words coming from a man who earns his bread by killing merchants on the road. No offense intended. I applaud your art. The pen is mightier than the sword, but there are times when it's vice versa. Enter!
All ready to leave now, sir?
Good. It's high time. I expect the captain was about to leave anyway. Are you not?
With pleasure.
And you, Henry?
Me? Well, sir, I made a promise.
I understand. I won't attempt to keep you here by force. But bear in mind, I have concluded a very fragile truce with Sigismund, which gives us time to get ready. And if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences. Grave consequences. I consider this matter closed. Farewell and good luck.
I get the feeling Yopes didn't make a great impression on you. Are we leaving?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Jobs, though. He has a point.
Wait, you'll help me find Kate?
I mean, everybody probably assumes he's in it for his best interest.
And information.
But even like he said, one can assume that Zizka is also out for his best interest as a bandit.
Catherine,
even though he's not. It's like...
Go to Kuttenberg.
They're both the same in a way.
If anyone knows what's going on in his godforsaken country, it'll be him. In the meantime,
so Zizka's judging Jobs
Dry Devil in his band.
for no
Good luck.
good reason,
I'd
really.
go all the way to Rome to spy if it kept me away from the devil.
Let's go. Stay close. The devil doesn't know you. He doesn't recognize you. The devil doesn't know you, but he should recognize me, even like this, unless he's too drunk.
What is your plan, anyway? Go from village to village, hamlet to hamlet, until we find him?
That won't be necessary. We just have to visit places where you can get booze.
So all the taverns and dens in the region?
If it comes to that.
I'm up for that.
Don't get your hopes up. We'll have a beer, listen to the local rumor mill, and if we don't find anything, we'll pay up and move on.
Where do we start?
I have heard of a place that's a favored meeting spot of bandits, poachers, and all kinds of scum. If I was looking for the devil, or at least someone who knows something about him, that's where I'd go.
Sounds like a good place to start. And if we find the devil, What then?
If we're really to step on Sigismund's toes, we need capable men. And the Devil's capable. Of anything, really.
I'm not sure what the three of us can achieve.
Inek's not alone. He has the Devil's pack.
Who?
That's what his band is called. They're exactly the sort of men we need.
And what do you have in mind when you say step on Sigismund's toes? What about Liechtenstein or Capon?
Same thing we did to von Berghoff. But don't worry. It's going to take a lot of time before we're ready. In the meantime, hopefully Catherine will find out where young Liechtenstein is hiding. If his spy network really lives up to the legend, he'll surely know where they're keeping young Capon.
I hope so. And when he's free, then we can step on Sigismund's toes. I'm sure Lord Capon will be happy to help.
In that case, he'd be better off staying in captivity. So, what do you say? Should we speed up?
Aye. The sooner we get there, the better.
We're here. I hope our journey doesn't prove to be in vain. Keep your hand on the hilt, Henry. Around here, you never know what might happen.
I warned you had it coming, you drunk.
Hang on. I didn't see it. Does feel better when I've had a drink. It's a gift from God.
Either you pay us back our coin, or you can leave your head with us.
You wouldn't get a groschen for an alternative, mine.
You're right about that.
I'd have a use for that turnip. But I can only pay for it with iron.
Shiska?
You turn on your heel and get going, if you value your life. You might have noticed there's more of us than you.
That can be fixed.
Go to hell!
You'll die for that, you bastard!
I'm not afraid of anyone but God Almighty. Do I have to pull you out of trouble again? I see you're still a drunkard.
It's good to see you too, Shiska. What happened to...
That doesn't matter now.
Huh? Who's that? Where's your old band?
You're looking at all that's left of it.
I see we have a lot to talk about.
That we do. Anyway, this is Henry. Henry, this is Kubienka.
Hiya, lad. And thanks for the help. You're handy with a sword.
Thanks.
Not that I couldn't handle them myself.
He would be one of the best archers north of the Alps. If he wasn't drunk or with one arm in the stocks all the time.
Shouldn't we leave before someone notices the corpses?
Easy, lad. This was the Devil's Den. If we behave ourselves, the innkeeper will just charge us a cleaning fee, and that will be that.
There will be plenty of time to get acquainted with the local customs. We're looking for the Devil. Where is he?
Well, when I said we have a lot to talk about, now is the time. This is the innkeeper, Dreadlight.
Gentlemen, I won't have this. You're murdering my guests and making a mess.
They started it.
They've been drinking on credit for half a day. Who's going to pay for this now?
If you search their pockets and sell their weapons, that should cover it. And I have a feeling Kubienka here owed them some dice winnings.
I didn't cheat.
Pay him.
All right then. What did I do to deserve you? Here you go.
Ah, I see you are a nobleman and a generous one at that. You didn't have to, but thank you. I'm much obliged. You don't need to worry about anything. We'll clear away the corpses, pour some sand on the blood, and no one will know what happened here.
That's nice of you. But leave us alone now.
Nobody will be looking for them anyway. Only the catchpoles would be interested in them. You might even get a reward.
Did you hear Lord Chishka?
Yes, I did. Of course. I'm leaving. Just call if you need anything.
Is it just you and the devil here? Where's the rest?
That's the problem.
What problem?
Well, I'm alone here.
Who's this devil fella of yours, anyway?
He's an angry, dangerous murderer. Someone you want on your side, but never against you.
And a treacherous old fox, too. One time, he was besieging a castle, and when they refused to surrender, he dressed up as a begging hag. They let him in, and he slit their throats in their sleep. I still regret not being there to see that.
I was there. In fact, he kidnapped that hag's grandsons, and told her he'd cripple them unless she let him in the castle. She opened the gate for him at night, and you know the rest.
Ha! Well, I could better the way Devil tells it.
Where's everybody else?
I'd like to know that too. When the devil was captured, they scattered. Some are dead, some ran for the hills. Some are probably holed up somewhere drinking.
What? The devil's been captured and that's how you tell me the news?
Do you know where they're keeping him?
Why? The town guard took him. So he's probably in the town jail?
Fuck. There's no way we're getting him out of there.
My words. Otherwise, we would have gotten him away from those fuckers a long time ago. Not even a mouse can get him there. We can't pull off something like that.
Who captured him?
How should I know? Some armed bastard.
Shit, Kubienka, you must know who came after you and why.
Well, he botched this job in Kuttenberg. It was supposed to be a breeze, but the fuckers outnumbered us 3-1. Before we could react, they knocked the devil down and pounded on him like a deaf man on a door. Ada and I tried to help him, but we just couldn't.
Fuck.
It pisses me off that we had to leave him there. But we would have been captured.
How long has it been since he was captured?
I've been sitting here drinking ever since it happened. So, maybe a week, maybe even a month. More like a month.
A month? They haven't hanged him yet.
That's the thing. The devil's famous. Lots of people want him dead. But they won't give him the news or the axe. They want to send his soul to the Lord in a much worse way. The devil is a proper bastard, but not even he deserves that.
What are they planning to do with him?
The devil's got a fat price on his head. He's the most feared robber baron in Bohemia. There are several empty tents in Sigismund's camp, thanks to him. They really want to relish his death. They'll take him to their camp outside of town for that.
Who told you that?
When someone owes you a dice wager, they'll spill him what they don't know. They say the people of Kuttenberg can't wait to see him gone.
If they're gonna move him, that could be our chance. We'll wait for them and free the devil.
He will be watched by 12 armed guards. We're only 3. So unless you have 10 men up your sleeve...
I thought the devil would have at least 10 men. But other than that, it makes sense. I don't think we'll have another shot.
I was going to hire some muscle for help here, but I got thirsty. You know the rest.
More like I know you. But maybe we'll find someone around here. Everybody'll listen if we mention coin. Can you think of anything else that might come in handy?
Well, how about some hand cannons?
Have you got some?
Well, not on me. But maybe there are some in our old camp. It isn't far.
Maybe.
Maybe. Surely. If I can remember where we hid them. And as luck would have it, they're not far from the road they used to transport the devil.
What place is that?
This narrow gully with a nice curve that backs for something nasty to happen in it. West of here. You can't miss it.
Looks like there's still some sense left in your noggin despite the booze.
And what about me?
You'll go with Kubianka to get the hand cannons. He may be... surely hid somewhere.
Great! At least I won't have to carry them myself.
Don't dilly-dally. And when you have them, meet me at the ambush spot. Keep an eye on him. And don't let him talk your ear off.
If I leave now, the whole plan could go to shit. What a relief. I just better not piss on my boots. Or trip over. Oh, almost done. Oh, not done yet. Finally. The camp is near. There's a path above the stream leading to it. There were also some pretty rocks nearby. Ada used to wade through that stream every time he went to visit some lass. Or when he was returning. He can smell the wench from miles away, but he can't take 3 steps in the woods without getting lost. Some people are just made that way. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, if Ada could find the camp, you'll have no problem finding it yourself. Oh, and the hand cannons. They're buried somewhere near the camp. Just a few steps. That much I remember.
Maybe by the stream. Or right in it? No, that's not it. Oh, we were drunk. But we're not that stupid. Although, maybe Janos and Edda are. One time, they decided to rob some merchant because we were running out of food and drink. They found one and decided to follow him until he arrived at a suitable place. They followed him all.
What are we gonna do now?
Well, welcome to our camp. It's not much, but we called it home.
This man.
Hey! You don't see me insulting your home.
So where are the cannons?
We hit something down below last time. By the stream, near the boulders. By the uprooted... And something is buried a little ways over there.
Don't you remember where you put them? Whoa, Jesus Christ.
One of those places. Let's look at all of them. They are here somewhere.
We're gonna dig through half the forest.
Nonsense. I'll walk around, get my bearings. You'll see. Anyway, we need a shovel. There used to be one by...
Which one is that?
The one made of leaves. He was so proud of it until he woke up covered in caterpillars.
Come on then. We don't have much time. What is it, Mutt?
Hey, here it is. Bring the shovel. We quit it. It is already taking us longer than we wanted. We were as drunk as fiddlers when we buried them. But this place seems really familiar. Before that, we had to bury old Lodiel, and we had to fortify ourselves.
I was a fool to think this would be easy.
So, I was wrong.
So you're digging the next one?
Listen, lad.
Just tell me you didn't throw those hand cannons in the water.
Of course not. Look at that basket over there.
What about it?
The cannons are not there, but there is something better. Booze. Be a lovely lad and fetch it.
Why not?
Good boy.
I found something in...
Beautiful. Is there enough?
Cheers.
Right. Let us find those devilish trumpets. Right. Enough playing around. Dig. Here.
Are you sure?
So this is the grave of poor Lodiel. I was sure we buried him elsewhere.
Ugh. What stench.
Why? Did it not smell much better when he was alive? Oh, well. God grant him eternal life and some soap.
What about us?
If Lodiel is here, then I reckon I know where the hand cannons are. So, this is it.
Don't tell me you've lost your way.
Oh, please. Me? Never. I found it.
Don't you want to dig the last hole yourself?
I'll tell you something, Henry. There are two kinds of people. Those who work and those who... See? I told you I knew exactly where to find them.
God, why are you punishing me?
Oh, don't cry. We have more important things.
Will you take the cannons?
Nah, I won't be lugging them around.
Right. Are we going to see Zizka?
Let's go. Or do you want to go along?
I'd rather go with you.
Mount up then.
I think I've heard that one before. How did Zizka put it? The best shot north of the Alps, and also the best singer north of Sasau. Nightingales have nothing on you.
Waters of harlots and brags from the wine kegs. Fuck all the rest today, I'm with my comrades. Fuck all to eat today, still we'll be merry. Bring your booze, then we'll make hats roll like berries. Waters of harlots and brags from the wine kegs. Fuck all the rest today, I'm with my comrades. Fuck all to eat today, still we'll be merry. Bring your booze, then we'll make hats roll like berries. Fucking and boozing and boozing and fucking. Fucking and boozing, booze.
We have the hand cannons.
How did it go? Any trouble?
The next time you want to send me looking for something with Kubyanka, just kill me. You'll save me a lot of suffering.
Did we find those cannon? We did. So stop whining.
When you spend more time with Kubyanka, you'll realize he's not doing it on purpose. He's just a prick.
Hey!
What's the plan?
We wait. We'll position ourselves on the flanks, and when they pass, we'll attack.
Why are the wagons standing there? I was hoping we would block the road with a tree or something.
Look what I managed to find. A true march of the maimed. If they had to cut down a tree, they'd chop off their own limbs. We at least took a wheel off. It looks less suspicious, and the convoy will have to stop anyway.
Oi, fuck, but...
But what?
I would put it a little further back, so they will not see it, until they are right next to it.
Ah, look who's thinking. And what then?
Then we rise with the hand cannons and blast the bastards to smithereens, from above.
What a load of rubbish.
What rubbish? It is like a battlement, but on a wagon. You get it, right? Haha.
Shut up. We'll do it my way.
Well, make up your minds. It's hard to say how much time we have.
So, Kubyanka, take half of the men and go over there. The rest will stand on the other side.
Where will I go?
You'll stay here, with me.
And then what?
We'll wait for them to arrive. And then...
Are we there yet? No, how many fucking times have I told you? Are you deaf?
Pay no attention to him, Rupert.
Pay no attention to him, Rupert.
You hold me up in irons. You can't even show me a grain of human decency.
Paul! What the fuck?
Damn. There's more of them than I was expecting. We can't back out now. Let's blast at them and seize the advantage.
Oi! You two! Get that wreck off the road.
Not to worry, Honorable Sir. We're working on it. To the task!
What the hell?
Matilda! Fucking hell! My leg, damn it! You idiots!
Now that was just a warning shot. Surrender, or the next one will go straight through your guts.
Why did that happen? What the hell?
So next time, will you hit the mark?
I'd rather settle it without bloodshed.
That's easy. Surrender, and none of you will be harmed. Until you hang alongside the devil, that is.
The only one surrendering will be you.
Oh, really? Rupert, bring that bastard to me. And you, arrest the others. If they resist, just kill them.
Halt! Not another step, or...
Oh, what? Are you gonna shoot at this sky again?
We are here by the order of the Lords of Lipa. Release Sir Hinnek, and you won't be harmed.
What's the dry devil to the Lords of Labour? They have no people around here. No authority.
They follow the instructions of Royal Hetman Radzig Kobyla.
If the Hetman wants the dry devil, he should talk to my lord. I'm not releasing him without a direct order.
Do you oppose the will of the Royal Hetman?
I don't see any Hetman here. Move out of our way, or taste our steel.
Give us Hinnek of Kunstad. I won't say it again.
Fuck off! Men, have at them!
Yeah! Now I'll shoot you dead! Good! You're dead! I can't shoot through you! Oh, that'll be easy!
You're dead! Now I'll have you! Take cover!
You never saw that coming! I'll rip your ass open! You won't be able to take another one like that! I've been waiting for you.
Now I'll shoot you dead! I can't aim like this! Damn it! To me! Get him from behind!
Oh, bleeding, are we? Want me to get your ma?
So he's a sword
Somehow I messed with
fighter,
the
eh?
hand cannon.
Too slow. Wanker.
Fuck, I can't see him!
Oh, no, you don't.
You know much
No
for us,
chance.
fucker.
Can't see through you. Too slow.
Stick your eyes out. I'm all yours.
You don't get me.
I must stay. They need me in the fight.
Another senseless death. It has to be me standing over the body. What a fucking day. You silly doggy. Oh, it's starting to stink. It has to be me. What? Another senseless death. Oh, it's starting to stink. It has to be me standing over the body. Another senseless death.
starting to stink.
They need me in the fight.
Another senseless death.
Oh, it's starting to stink.
It has to be me standing over the body. What a fucking day.
Pray for a quick death, you bastard.
Hey, I need a hand here! You die, you bastard! A death for a death! He knows how to sword fight!
Still standing.
Fucking hell! He knows how to sword fight! He's had it! Ha! Can't do that, can you? Nice! I'm not afraid of anyone, Luke. God Almighty! From behind! Yeah! Don't... You're dead!
That's it! You're still standing! I'll hack your ass off! Kill it!
No, just this one! And it's done!
Good dog, Mutts. Show me.
You're not bleeding. Clear the bodies off the road. Hide them somewhere, but be quick about it, all right? Come here, Henry. We don't have all day.
We should get out of here, don't you think?
The sooner we're gone, the better. Welcome back, Hinnick.
If it wasn't for you, I'd still be getting worked over by those bastards in Sigismund's camp. You saved my arse, fellas. Although, I have a second hole in it now because of you. Ouch!
There was an accident. I couldn't hit you that well, even if I wanted to.
That would be a shame. We'd be hard-pressed to find another horseman like him.
Spare me the flattery. It's enough you thought I was worth saving. Warms the cockles of my heart.
Don't thank me until you know what we're up to.
Ha ha! I knew there was a reason you rescued me. What's your plan?
We need to find John of Liechtenstein and finally rescue Lord Capon.
Who the fuck are they?
You'll learn that soon enough. But we have more important things to attend to. First things first, Henry. How are we doing, Devil? Do you have some kind of hideout? What about your people?
Hideout? Our old camp was a shithole.
Don't insult our home from home.
Shush! We can stay here.
Here? For all to see?
This here hole is far from town, and has such a bad reputation that decent people are afraid to come here. As long as you're paying, old Treadlight will serve you wholeheartedly. This place has everything we need, and people who come here can be recruited for some dirty work.
And there are no fleas in the beds.
Furthermore, it's called the Devil's Den, and I like that.
All right, have it your way. Henry, go to the innkeeper and arrange our stay here. But back to the point, Devil. What about your people?
My people? Kubienka isn't enough for you.
No, he isn't.
That's too bad. Oh, they fucked off somewhere. They didn't send any messages to my jail cell.
We'll have to do something about that. But first you should go and see Catherine. See if she's settled in and if she's all right. She said she'd try to find work at the Hangman's Halter Tavern.
You're not coming with me?
Does that bother you? But you're not afraid of her, are you?
Someone might recognize me. And if they saw us together...
All right. What will you be doing?
I don't know about these two, but I'll be having a rest. I'm not going to sit on a horse for a while anyway.
But we don't have time for that. We need more people. The three of us could just about make an infamous cabbage-stealing band. The best thing would be to recruit from your old comrades.
Forget it. It hurts like you shot off one of my arse cheeks. I can barely stand.
At least tell me what happened to your infamous Devil's Pack. Where can we find them?
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. Where are they, Kubienka? Why didn't you lot free me from jail?
You gather a band of criminals and then you are surprised they cannot be trusted?
So, nobody's left?
Some might return now that the devil is back.
Well, if they're not already swinging on the gallows somewhere.
How will you find them? They could be anywhere.
We'll have to search for them. Will you help us, Henry?
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, wonderful. Will you at least tell me where to start?
I'd love to. But I don't even know who survived that fuck-up.
Not many of us are left. Janos and Adder were the first to run. I reckon they are gorging themselves somewhere. If they have any coin.
What about Bohuta and his brother? They've always been reliable.
Slavik died, Bohuta took it badly. He's not coming back.
Fuck. Henry may be able to convince him.
I doubt it, but he can try.
Do we have anyone else?
Well, there's Matthew and Roniak. But who knows where they ended up.
And that's all.
We could also try those rebellious farmers who are fighting against Sigismund around here.
I don't want any dirty peasants. I want my old pack.
In that case, there is no one else left.
And where should we look for them? I don't even know where to start.
I think I could help you with some of them. Come and see me when you want to get started.
Liechtenstein can wait. I better look for the rest of your devil's pack.
Great. But be careful. I didn't recruit them for their pretty eyes. They're probably not going to be very friendly after what happened, so be nice to them.
I'll bear that in mind.
All right, go ahead. But don't forget, Catherine's waiting for you in Kuttenberg.
Why do they call you the Dry Devil, anyway?
Why do they call you fuckhead?
But they don't call...
All right, I was only joking. I don't even know how I got the nickname. I suppose it could have something to do with all the killing and my natural beauty. It's certainly catchier than His Grace Sir Hinnek the First of Kunstadt and Yashpitz. That name wouldn't scare a fucking coward. But say it Dry Devil, and everybody just shits themselves.
How are your injuries healing?
Well, I didn't really need a second arsehole, so hopefully it was the last one I ever get. I can't really sit, stand, or lie down. Not to mention ride a horse.
It was just terrible luck that we hit you.
Yeah, I was feeling bitter for a while. But then I thought, you could have ripped my head or my leg off. So I still got off easy. And between us, I think it's still better to die of a shot to the arse than of old age or some disease.
How do you know Kubienka?
He saved my arse back at Neuhaus. We only made it out thanks to him. I thought we were fucked. But then, Kubienka appeared, dragging a ladder, asking how much we would pay for it.
What did he get for it?
The first thing he got was a good fucking beating, because we thought he'd been dead for 2 days. But after we escaped, we made sure he didn't have to pay for drinks for a long time.
How long have you known Zizka?
It's been a while. He served with me during the Moravian-Margrave Wars.
So you were his commander, sir?
That's water under the bridge now. I'm just an old wanted robber baron whose neck you and Zizka just saved. I don't give a shit about the sirs anymore, you see?
Ah, all right then. What can you tell me about Zizka?
Well, based on what you two have been through, I'd say you should know him pretty well by now. When everything is fucked, people around you are dying and you're fighting for your very life, only then can you really learn what a person is like.
Are you going to do what we talked about?
Greetings.
Will you be spending the...
Seems that way. Do you have a room for us? At least for a few days.
But of course. We have 2 free rooms just up... I'll have them cleaned up.
Don't even bother cleaning them, innkeeper. What's newer?
There's talk that young Bruttons form a fight club in Horsham. Maybe they'll let you into their circle. I heard there's a haunting in Old Kutner. There was the ground collapsed, and then Smolka, she's the one who runs the bathhouse across... She said a fella came in, all restless and fidgety, saying he wanted a girl. That he wanted to take her somewhere else, and Smolka wouldn't have it. But when he offered to pay double, she agreed. You know how it is. These days, every groschen
Was he a fucking pig?
If only...
So what did he do?
The girl came running in all beaten up. Smolka couldn't get her to talk about what happened, but it wasn't pretty. I went to see her. The girl was all blue with bruises. Her knees blooded. Not a pretty sight.
Who was this fella?
The way Smolka described him to me, he must have come with Sigismund's army. Probably a deserter. I've seen a few of those around.
Have you any idea where I could find it?
Rumour has it he's been sleeping in a shepherd's abandoned dugout, just outside the forest nearby.
I'll take care of him.
I'm glad to hear it. And don't spare him. A lot of scum is coming here, but enough is enough. When you're done with him, go to see Smolka at the bathhouse. She'll be glad to have one less thing to worry about. And that's about it.
Sounds interesting. What's new?
Well, if there was something... I'll have a... I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
God be with you.
You said you were going to tell me more about the Devil's former band.
You really do not waste time. Anyway, only a few fellas out of the whole glorious pack survived the shitstorm, and it's not certain they are still alive. As far as I know, Matthew, Bahuta, Raniak, Janosch, and Eder survive. I only know where to find Bahuta, and maybe Matthew. But...
Tell me about Bahuta first. Who is he, anyway?
Well, Bahuta, he was always in trouble. Angry as a dog and covered in... He and his brother could drink all the beer in the inn. Just the two of them. Then they would make a terrible ruckus.
Sounds like you three would get along well. But you said his brother was dead.
Yes, he died right before Bahuta's eyes. Not pretty. Bahuta has been acting weird ever since. He dropped everything overnight and turned to prayer. As if he was scared of being next in line.
Where can I find Bahuta?
At the rectory in Grunts. He helps out with the church.
Did you ever see him again after they caught the devil?
Yeah. But there was no reasoning with him.
You think it'll be different now?
Look, I don't know. Maybe when he hears the devil's back, he will come to his senses. But I doubt it.
I'll go over there and try to talk him into it. There's no harm in trying.
But be careful. Bahuta was never far from giving someone a beating. Maybe he's still got that in him. It was Slavic who kept him from ending up on the gallows because of a fight. Oh, but he's already with the Lord.
Now tell me something about this Matthew fellow. Someone with a name like that surely can't be all mad.
The name may be pretty, but he's as ugly as sin. You better not stare at him too much. It is not good for your stomach. He's also a damn willy bastard. People say he likes to rob on trade routes, telling his victims he's collecting tax for the king.
And where do I find him?
I hear there's someone robbing merchants on the roads near Miskolec. That would be fitting for him. Maybe the bailiff can tell you more. It's practically happening in his yard.
If he's so crooked, why did you take him into your band in the first place?
Nasty characters are more suited to our line of work. It is much harder to convince good people to do bad things.
What about me? Am I not a good person?
Well, that's true. I hope you're not a spy who will rat us all out to Sigismund.
What about the rest of the band? You mentioned more than one person.
Lolo? Of course. That leaves Janos, Ada, and Raniak.
What's up, Alex? Can you hear me?
What I can tell you about.
Oh, yes, I can.
Your voice is coming out that controller.
Who is this Adder? What kind of nickname is that, anyway?
Oh, that's easy. He's called Ada because he can't keep his snake in his breeches. He's Polish. He does not speak our tongue, so only Janos can speak to him, really. But otherwise, he's a fucking hilarious.
Connecting my headphones now.
And when shit gets tough, he can really handle it.
Do you know where he could be?
You're not watching the stream? You put a request for the for a share screen.
Are you on YouTube right now?
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's probably better. Huh? I'm probably gonna leave the party you started. Cause
Oh yeah. I just watch on YouTube.
yeah, the volume got smaller for some reason because of.
Yeah.
Let me see. What? Let's see. Okay.
How am I supposed to communicate with Adder? I don't speak a word of Polish.
Yes, you do. We all say kurwa. You must use your hands and feet for the rest. I always manage, and so will you.
Tell me more about this Raniak.
Raniak has a great aim. Slightly better than me, even. Oh, and that bow of his, I tell ya, is a masterpiece. That is how you will know it is him.
How did he get that bow?
How do you think? He won it playing dice. But that was the first and last time he ever won anything. If anyone is really unlucky, it is him. But he would not stop if you were to cut off his hands.
Did you ever see him again after the devil was captured?
Oh, just once. He wanted me to lend him money. He did not have any to bet with. But I was skinned and looking for a way to get the devil out of jail. Either way, I told him to fuck off, and he listened to me.
Do you have any idea how I could find him?
Oh, I don't know anything about him. Try asking around at inns where they play dice. It is possible he lost his hose in one of them.
Tell me about this Janos.
Janos? He's from Hungary. He speaks like a Tatar, but at least you can understand him a little, unlike Ada.
And how did he get here? Did he defect from Sigismund?
Not at all. He did something back home, had the gallows waiting for him, so he fled to Moravia. He was having the time of his life until recently. Wine, women, and song. But now he has problems because people take him for a human. But if you knew how he can cook, give him a dead rat and half a carrot, and he will cook you a 3-course dinner.
I'm already liking this Janos. I think we'll get along well.
Janos? Why?
I like good food too. Life is always better with a full stomach.
You two will surely get along then. Janos has seen a lot of the world, tasted everything. If you let him, he will talk about it all day long.
How can I recognize this Janos?
Like I said, he looks a bit like a human. He speaks almost like we do, but in a queer way, where you talk to him. You will definitely notice it.
Thanks. I'll go and look for them.
They may sound like a bunch of morons as I tell it, but they will be damn useful to us. Good luck!
Calm down. Surely there's a reasonable explanation for this.
You could stick your reason up your ass. I told you something like this would happen. We never should have stopped bringing the offerings.
What's going on here? As you can see, something slaughtered all these cows.
Not just something. It was that creature from hell. I saw with my own eyes how it fled back to its hole in the mine.
Give it a rest, would you?
What's up, Alex?
What'll happen when that monster comes for us next?
Seems we've been fortunate running into you then, eh?
I'm Henry of Scallis.
I'm Marion, the local priest. You look like someone who knows how to fight and isn't scared off all that easily. Just the kind of man for the job.
Tell me what happened from the beginning. What killed those cattle?
I was in my cottage when I heard such strange noises. It made my skin crawl. So I went out and saw this. And that beast what did it running away. How am I supposed to make a living now? These cows were my most treasured possessions.
What sort of strange noises did you hear? Can you describe them in some way?
It was like someone dragging chains along the ground. Neither men nor wolves make them kinds of noises. And demons carry chains so they can catch sinners with them. Everyone knows that.
And what about you? Did you hear it too?
Unfortunately, no. I was in the church when Vladimir sent for me, saying they'd found those carcasses.
Didn't you say you saw someone running away from here?
Not someone, but something. A monster from hell itself.
Just an old wives' tale.
I swear by all that's holy, the beast ran from here straight back to the old mine.
What did the beast look like?
I only saw it from afar. But before it got lost in the thicket, I saw its giant pointed snout.
Couldn't it have just been an animal? Maybe a wolf or a boar?
Can't you see my poor girls here?
What kind of wolf would leave wounds like these? Oh, and the monster ran on 3 legs.
3 legs?
Aye, as sure as my name's Vladimir.
You mentioned a pit of hell. Is that located somewhere around here?
That's just a local fable.
It's no fable. In the days when silver was mined here, terrible misfortune took place in the mine. A pit to hell itself opened up there.
The mine shuttering fell apart and the gallery collapsed. That's all.
Shuttering my arse! It was a pit to hell! Shuttering don't just blow up on its own. But hell didn't scare good old Father Richard, so he set off into the tunnels and struck a deal with them demons. Ever since then, we brought food to the mine for them every second Sunday, and they leave us in peace in return.
Father Richard was a crackpot. You're lucky to finally have a normal priest here now.
A priest who forbade us from bringing the offerings, and now you can both see where that's got us.
Has anyone actually looked around in the mine?
Only old Father Richard. Nobody else has ever had the courage. The very mine shaft stinks like hell itself. So, we only ever lower a bucket down with the offering, and then clear off quick.
After the cave-in, the miners left to work in Grund. Seems they'd no longer felt the vein was worth the trouble here.
When did all this happen?
It's got to be at least 5 years now.
And you've been taking food there ever since?
That's right. And nothing's ever happened until now. All because our new priest here forbade us from bringing offerings.
Where's Father Richard now?
He returned to his maker not long ago. And now I preach here in his place. The moment I caught word of that foolish superstition, I put a stop to any offerings.
And you can see what that caused.
It's only happenstance. This isn't the first, nor the last time that wolves dare to venture into town.
Vladimir's right. It doesn't look like it was the work of wolves. I don't know what could have done it, but wolves don't make those kind of wounds.
You hear that, Father? And that's coming from someone who's been out and seen the world.
This whole thing is very odd. How do you want me to help?
The massacre of those cattle is a horrible thing. But the heresy that's been tolerated here on account of the former priest is even worse.
Old Father Richard would chase you out of town, you stuffed frock.
Marion may be young, but he's still a priest, and he deserves a bit of respect.
Thank you, Henry. Since you're the only one here uninvolved, I'd like you to go into the old mine and discover the truth of this old wives' tale.
And while you're there, take some peace offering with you. Otherwise, I wouldn't even dare going.
What am I to do with you? All right. Henry, take their offering with you as well. You'll do just as those wretches did before you, and then wait to see if any demons show their faces or not.
Wait for demons? You want to send the poor fella to his death?
Don't listen to him, Henry. Faith in God will protect you. But before you go through the mine, we'll have a look around the village. Then we'll all meet at the entrance to the mine.
I need to go over something again. Tell me something about yourselves, so I know who I have the honor of speaking to.
Like I said, I'm Marion, and I come to Old Kutna to preach.
Aren't you, a bit young for a preacher?
So, now I implement my theological...
I'm Vladimir, the mine foreman. I'm the eldest of...
All right.
A bit of food will do. We always lowered the food down in a bucket. The main thing is not to go down the shaft yourself, lest you anger hell.
Don't be frightened. It's just an old shaft.
You'll find it to the west of here. The whole area is deserted and most of the entrances are blocked. You go past the mine buildings until you reach the one that's collapsed to the ground. The mine entrance is next. Good luck, lad.
God be with you.
You're always welcome here, good sir.
Alright, I made it to Kuttenberg, the city. It's a big place.
Fine dames, some fine wares. Come and take...
Inexpensive, but... Oh, excuse me.
Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just Liechtenstein. I've only been here a couple of days, but I seem to know everything about this city and its sinful people. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
You'll have to tell me more about the sinning part. That sounds interesting.
You youngsters are all the same. But work before pleasure. After we find Liechtenstein and free Cape Bon, we'll see.
I'll look forward to it. But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild even for me.
That's saying something. Well, trying to get sense out of drunken wretches is quite a skill of mine. Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
Sounds like a nice place for a romantic evening, eh?
You'll find it in Hotprink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So, goatskin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
He might know where they're holding Capon.
I'm sure lots of people might know that.
But Liechtenstein's on our side. At least I hope he still is. You never know these days.
But who is he? And why is he in Kuttenberg?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noble men's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one. Oh man, it's a lot to do. I think I'm gonna stop right here. I'm kind of tired. Oh man, there's too much to do. We'll save it. Alright guys, peace out, y'all. I'm gonna stop the stream right here.